See if we can't find the stream. Hopefully it isn't too far away. There's the channel. Just waiting for the stream to upload. There it is there. So stream's up. Audio is working as it should, and there's the Twitch ad. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So stream's up, chat's up, we're all good to go. That's absolutely fantastic. Hello everyone, and welcome to round 14, the final round of the AM1 Championship here on Contest of Speed. I'm Lane Everingham, your commentator for this event, and this time we're racing at Circuit of the Americas for the United States Grand Prix. Constructed in 2012, this 3.43 mile 20-turn Tilcadrome is located in Austin, Texas, and was built to rekindle a relationship between USA and Formula One after the infamous 2005 US Grand Prix at Indianapolis. I'd say it's done its job pretty well. COTA has provided some really interesting racing over its history, and in the virtual world it's very much the same. There are solid passing spots into Turn 1 and Turn 12 with the help of DRS, but there are other opportunities such as Turn 11, Turn 15 and the final corner, Turn 20. The circuit also features one of the most difficult S sections on the calendar. Formed by Turns 3 through 9, it's incredibly reminiscent to the famous Maggots and Beckett's S's from Silverstone. As a result, they're just as demanding as one another. The section is a track limit warning haven, so the drivers will need to be careful and focused for both qualifying and the race. Speaking of which, the weather will be dry in both sessions. Hopefully with these conditions, we have an entertaining conclusion to the season. But before we fully focus on qualifying, there is a little bit of news to go through first from the previous round in Mexico. I can say quite happily that we didn't get a single incident report from last week, so the results stand from the race in Mexico. Now it's time to set the stakes for the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship. In the Drivers' Championship, Barmer 22 is leading the way. He's on 199 points, followed by Rick Dalton on 174. Dalton needs to win and score fastest lap in order for him to have any shot of winning the driver's title. For Barmer here, all that he needs to do is finish inside the top 10, and he's guaranteed the championship. In the Constructors, McLaren are leading on 247 points, followed by Williams on 221. Williams need to outscore McLaren by 27 points to win the Constructors' Championship. If they don't score those 27 points, McLaren are Constructors' Champions for Season 9. The rest of the championship order, we'll go through the Drivers' Championship first. So we've got Barmer at the front, then Dalton. Third place is Andy Wu on 102 points, 72 points behind Dalton. You can definitely tell that Barmer and Dalton have been the class of the field during this season. Cameron's next on 87 points, followed by Mitch Burns on 85. Nicholas Latifi's next on 76, followed by Bersing on 51. Fistbuster on 49, JD on 43. Then 10th place is occupied by two drivers, Elliott and NoCap, both on 40 points. In the Constructors, McLaren are leading on 247, followed by Williams on 221. Red Bull are next on 163, followed by Ferrari on 145. Mercedes are next on 117, followed by Alfa Romeo on 102. Haas and Aston Martin are locked in a battle. Haas on 89 points, followed by Aston Martin on 88. Alpine aren't too far behind either on 77 points. And at the bottom of the table, we have AlphaTauri, still on 20 points. And that's pretty much it in terms of news. We can now focus on this qualifying session. Rather disappointing, but not completely surprising that we have a fairly low attendance for this race at COTA, with F1 22 releasing a few days ago. The Champions Edition, anyway, releasing a few days ago. A lot of people aren't really keen on racing in F1 2021 anymore. So we only have a 12-car field, but I do believe, over my course of commentating, that field size has never dictated race quality. So hopefully we still get to see some entertaining stuff out on track. No one's been able to set a lap time just yet. I noticed that Barmer invalidated his lap. Vermeulen here hasn't invalidated his lap. He's coming towards turns 16, 17 and 18. This triple right-hander in the final sector. You're right on the edge of grip here. It can be quite easy to lose control, so you do have to be a bit careful. Around turn 19, I'll talk about that corner a bit later, and around the final corner, turn 20. Vermeulen will cross the line to set the first competitive lap time, 1 minute 32.009. Andy Woos setting off on the flying lap. Tell you what, we'll take advantage of this. We'll ride on board, give you a tour of the racetrack. Around turn 1, a very unique turn 1. It's a very steep climb of about 40.5 metres from the bottom of the pit straight to the top of turn 1. Into the S's, turns 3, 4, 5. The double apex right-hander of turn 6. Then into turn 7. That's the first sector. Around turn 8. Into the tricky turn 9. You have to be careful with the throttle here. Very easy to lose control and put it into the wall. Around the kink of turn 10, into the hairpin of turn 11, a potential passing spot. You can try and send it down the inside here. It's very, very doable. Down the back straightaway of sorts, I suppose it is a back straightaway. Up towards turn 12, probably the best overtaking spot on the circuit. Approach speed just shy of 200 miles an hour. Brings it down to 60 miles an hour at the apex of turn 12. Got a nice exit as well. Around turn 13, then turn 14, into this tight hairpin of turn 15. You can see here with Andy Wu, takes a nice wide approach into the hairpin. It leaves a massive door down the inside for someone to send it in, Kvyat style, to try and make a move. Around the triple right-hander of 16, 17 and 18, into turn 19, which is completely blind. If you don't have racing line, that is quite a tricky corner to get right. Around the final corner with the sun in your eyes, up towards the line, it's a 32.5 from Andy Wu. Second quickest out of the time set. Burzy, the next car, I believe, to set a flying lap, unless it's Bruno. No, it's not Bruno. He's just setting off on a flying lap now, and Burzy's into the wall. And he's out of qualifying. Oh dear. He's lost control at the final corner. He's put his Alfa Romeo into the barrier. Well, his final qualifying session on F1 2021 has come to a premature end. Hopefully his race isn't like that as well. Dalton has invalidated his lap. Bruno Diaz has invalidated his lap. Preferred's on a flying lap out of turn 1, around turn 2, flat out through this right-hander. Now into the S's. Turns 3, 4, 5. The double apex right of turn 6. You take an early apex and a late apex, so then you can open up turn 7. Around turn 8, climbing up a small hill as well. Around the tricky turn 9, and that's why it's tricky. The traction out to turn 9 is at a premium for most drivers, especially if you're on the medium compound tyre like Preferred's is. It's very easy to do exactly that. Lose the back end. He was lucky he didn't end up in the barrier. That's also quite easy to do out of turn 9. Let's see here. Dalton setting off on another flying lap. He invalidated the previous lap. He's having another go. Down the hill, around turn 2. Up towards the S section. Is he pushing? No. He's not using any battery. In fact, he's just cut the racetrack quite a lot there. I don't think you're allowed to do that, according to the racing rules, but oh well. Barmer on a flying lap, our championship leader, making his way around turn 1, down the hill towards turn 2, 5th gear, 6th gear, bring it up into 7th, now into the S section, turns 3, 4, 5, turn 6, just gently on the brakes, back on the accelerator, around turn 7, then turn 8, try and max it out of turn 9. Look at that. Oh, the back end stepping out and he runs too wide. He put all 4 wheels over the white line, and as a result, his lap is now invalid. Petr getting ready. Hasmania, a name that I haven't said in a while. Making his way into the S's now. You have to try and hit every apex. As Hasmania, well, he smashed the apex at turn 4, and as a result, he's invalidated his flying lap. Yeah, that's basically what it is, Stone Man. Basically, very, very low attendance. It's disappointing, but not surprising. Blacks goes into the wall. He's now out of qualifying. Crashing at turn 9. Dearie me. Said that was easy to do and someone's just done it. Oh dear. Bummer. Setting off on a flying lap, heading up the hill towards turn 1. Shifted into top gear. Entry speed 190 miles an hour. Brings it down to third gear. Apex speed of just shy of 60 miles an hour. Around turn 2. Heading towards the S section now. Chucks it into the first apex. Hits turn 4 pretty well. End turn 5. Back end stepping out. He lost control at turn 6. Gathers it up pretty well though. And he's still in this qualifying session. That's the important thing. But he still doesn't have a time on the board. We're now at the halfway mark in this qualifying session. We've got just over 8 minutes left. Nicholas getting ready. Kit and Petter on the flying lap coming out of turn 9. He doesn't lose control there. Keeps his Ferrari rock steady at the exit of turn 9. Into the hairpin of turn 11. Second gear. Back on the power in third gear. Uses all of third as well. Doesn't bother to short shift to fourth gear. He'll open DRS down the back straightaway and head towards turn 12. Now, what kind of top speed will we see from the Ferrari driver? 198 miles an hour heading into turn 12. Short shifting to third gear just after the apex of turn 12. Now around turn 13 into turn 14. Fourth gear gently on the throttle. To be very, very careful with the car. Around turn 15. Well, a little bit wide, I think, there, but he kept the car on the black stuff. That's a really important thing. Coming out of the triple right-hander, heading towards turn 19, the penultimate corner on the racetrack. Nice and tidy there from Kit and Petter. I think he nailed turn 19 pretty spot on. Coming out of the final corner, he crosses the line to set a 33.9, fourth quickest out of the time set. But remember, that's on the medium compound tyre. Compared to some of the other drivers, Andy Wu, his teammate, 32.5. He's done that on the soft tyre. So yeah, quite a pace difference between the soft and the medium tyre here at COTA. Soft tyre is very fast. Very, very fast. Nicholas Latifi heading up the hill into turn 1. He's one of several drivers who have been unable to set a lap time. Around turn 2, into the S's now. Turns 3, 4, 5, turn 6. Oh, a little bit. No, actually, he got that pretty spot on through turn 6. Just the way that the car was moving, I thought he was going to understeer wide, but he got through that pretty well. Around turn 10, down the hill towards turn 11. Down from 7th gear, brings it down to 2nd. Short shifts to 3rd, back on the power. Down the back straight away towards turn 12. He'll open DRS. There is a AlphaTauri just behind either Bruno or Hasmania. Not quite sure which. We'll find out. It's not Bruno, so it must be Hasmania. Into turn 12. Second gear. Cut all of turn 12 there. Lucky to not get an invalidated lap. Small correction into turn 13. Around turn 14 now into the hairpin of turn 15. Third gear. Second gear. Back to third. Now heading towards the triple right-hander. Turns 16, 17, then turn 18. Up towards turn 19. You don't want to cut too much here. You don't want to understeer wide either. And that's exactly what he's done, is understeer wide. His lap's now invalidated. This lap won't count. It would have been a 33-1. That would have put him P3. But unfortunately, with that mistake, he's still down in 7th place. Steering a little bit wide there, Bruno, but he keeps 2 tyres over the white line at the exit of turn 19. Out to the final corner, crossing the line. Bruno jumps up to pole position. 1 minute 31.739. He is just under 3/10 clear of Vermeulen, who was on the flying lap. Up by 23 thousandths to the first sector. He's heading towards the second sector split. He just has to get around turn 12. Hard on the brakes from 196 miles an hour down to 60 miles an hour at the apex of turn 12. Second sector says he's up by 1/10 of a second. He needs to find 2/10 through this final sector to try and challenge Bruno for pole position. out of turn 15, up towards turn 16, 17 and 18. You have to keep it pinned here. You have to be very committed. Ramu gets around pretty unscathed around turn 19. Understeering wide, but keeping the car just within the white lines. My goodness, he used all of the curb on the outside of turn 19. Crossing the line, he jumps up to pole. He found 3/10 over the course of that lap. 1 minute 31.691. He is 400ths clear of Bruno in P2. Nicholas on another invalidated lap. He has to come in, get some fuel in the car. He's only got 3.5 minutes to set another lap. Or try and set a lap, I should say. Barmer getting off the road there, letting an Alpha Tauri through. That's Hasmania, who was on an out lap as well. So quite a few drivers still yet to set a lap time. Hello, Bersy, as well. I can see you in the chat. Even with that crash, Bersy, you're still in the top 5. So you might be starting up towards the front if no one can set times. Dalton's coming out of the pits. He'll be on what will be his final out lap, getting ready to set his final flying lap. Preferred's making his way around the triple right-hander. You on a flying lap? You are consuming battery, so I'm going to assume you are. Around turn 19, up towards turn 20, the final corner on the racetrack. Second gear, back on the power. Invalidates at the final corner. 32.4. That would have put him P3, but he invalidated at the final turn. Nicholas Latifi has retired in the pit lane, so neither Red Bull has set a lap time. So they're both starting towards the back. Well, potentially. We've still got a few drivers yet to set a lap time. One of those is our championship leader, Barmer, who's coming out to turn 1, down the hill towards turn 2. We've got just a little bit over 2 minutes left in qualifying, so if he makes a mistake, he should have time in hand to try and set another flying lap. Crossing the first sector split, he heads around turn 7, then turn 8, up the hill towards turn 9. And he's invalidated, so he has to take the opportunity to cool the car down a little bit. And he'll have one shot to set a lap time. My goodness. Dalton getting ready. He's coming up to the final corner. He's just preparing himself, preparing the car. Vermoo has retired in the pit lane as well. So he's not going to try and improve on that time, that 31.6 that he set. Up the hill towards turn 1. Dalton is the only championship challenger to Barmer 22. He is 25 points behind in the championship. So in order for him to have any sort of winning, he needs to win this race and get fastest lap. And I think ideally for him, he needs to start up towards the front of the field. So he needs to put a time on the board. Out of turn 9. Down the hill around turn 10. Up towards the hairpin of turn 11. Brings it down from 7th gear down to 3rd. Doesn't bother to use 2nd gear. Gets lovely drive at the exit of the hairpin. Down the back straight away we go. He'll open DRS and head towards turn 12. Barmer. He's on another invalidated lap, so he must have ran wide at the final 2 corners. This lap won't count. He will be starting towards the back. Dalton making his way into the final sector now. According to the minimap, he's purple. We'll have to wait and see what his time is like at the end of the lap. Around turn 15. Up towards the triple right-hander now. Turn 16, 17 and 18. He has to keep it pinned. Hits the turn 17 apex pretty well. Here we are, turn 19 now. Uses a healthy amount of curb. Uses all the curb on the outside as well. Around the final corner. Keep an eye on the clock. It's going to be a 1 minute. Oh, he's invalidated at the final turn. He did a 31.3. He would have vaulted up to pole position. But he's made a mistake at the final turn on his last lap in qualifying. Oh, no. The 2 championship protagonists are going to be starting towards the back. I suppose the silver lining to all that is, well, they get a free choice of tyre. They didn't set a lap time, so every single driver who didn't set a time will get a free choice. on what tyre to start on. My goodness. Tasmania making his way towards the final two corners on the racetrack. Bruno here. Will he improve? Try and take pole position back for himself. He misses out by a tenth. He did a 31.8. Tasmania crosses the line. He vaults up to P3. That's the best qualifying session that AlphaTauri have had all season. P2 and P3 for Bruno and Tasmania. But that is the end of qualifying. It's Vamu who starts from pole position. And our two championship protagonists are starting P10 and P12. There we are. So, results from qualifying. Vermeulen starts from pole. Bruno is next in P2, followed by Tasmania in third. Andy Wu is next in P4, followed by Burzy, then Deathstorm. Kitten Petter P7, then Preferred's P8. He's the last of the time set. And Petter and Preferred, they'll be starting on the medium compound tyre. Nicholas Latifi, Barmer, Blacks, and Dalton were unable to set lap times during qualifying. Blacks, of course, we saw earlier, he had a crash at turn 9, so he was actually unable to set any more lap times after that. Whereas these guys, they had several attempts, but couldn't put a time on the board. So they're starting from the back. I don't think you get to start on fresh softs, Burzy. I think you will have to start on the tyres you set that time right at the beginning of the session on. So I don't think you get a free choice of tyre even after your accident. I think. Getting ready for our final formation lap on F1 2021. It's been an interesting journey on this game. Plenty of highs, plenty of lows with this game. We can all wrap it up now and move on to the new era, the new game. But we have to get through this first. So, who's starting on what? Well, that's interesting. Top 6, they're all starting on the soft tyre. Kitten Petter and Preferreds, they're starting on mediums that they used during qualifying. Nicholas Latifi, he's on fresh mediums. Barmer is on fresh softs. Blacks and Dalton making up the final two spots. They're on the medium tyre as well. So we got 5 cars on the mediums, 7 on the soft tyre. Interesting. Now, if I remember correctly, the soft tyre is pretty rapid around here. It's significantly quicker compared to the medium compound tyre. The only worry with the soft tyre is tyre temperatures, if I recall correctly. They might be a bit of a hassle to deal with. But these medium runners, towards the beginning of the race, I don't think they'll keep up with the soft tyre. That's how quick the soft tyre is around here. It's a bit like Mexico, in a way. Except in Mexico, the soft tyre can last for a fairly lengthy amount of time. But here, they don't last as long. I think the soft tyre can last about 10 laps or so, if I remember. It's been a little while since I've raced here. It's been a little while since I've commentated here. About 2-3 weeks ago. We'll get rid of the tyre graphic for now. We'll bring back the interval graphic for the start of this race. Vermeulen starting from pole position. Does he have the inside line or the outside line for turn 1? I suppose we'll find out in a few moments. And we'll... this will be the last time we'll be seeing this. The AI driving the car back onto the grid. The player will be able to do this now. And the player has a responsibility of lining up their car accordingly in F1 2022. And it appears that Vermeulen will start on the racing line. So he's on the cleaner side of the racetrack. So theoretically speaking, he should get a better start. But if he doesn't, Bruno in P2 has the inside line for turn 1. And it's a really sendable corner, turn 1. It's very wide. It's a very sharp apex. You can properly send it in. So it'll be an interesting run up the hill towards turn 1. But everyone's ready to race. We have 10 red lights. And we are underway here in Texas. It's a nice start from Vermouth. It's a nice start from Bruno. Up the hill towards turn 1. Bruno's drawing alongside. Down the inside looks Andy Wu in the Ferrari. Side-by-side stuff down the hill towards turn 2. Bruno's in front. Andy Wu's into P2. Hasmania's trying to get Vermouth for P3. Into the S section we go for the first time. Around turn 5. Around turn 6. Running wide. I think that was Hasmania in the AlphaTauri. I'm not quite certain. I believe it was. Around turn 8. Up the hill. Around turn 9. Or yellow flags are out. What's that for? It's Bruno. He has tumbled away from the race lead. He's down to the back of the field. Down the inside goes Vermouth. Hasmania down the inside of Vermouth. Down the back straight away we go towards turn 12 for the first time. Andy Wu moving around the racetrack trying to break the toe. Hasmania trying to follow. He's not close enough to send it in. Profode's down the inside of Vermouth here at turn 12. He's on the medium tyre. He's doing a fantastic job. Contact between the two cars at the exit of turn 12. Down the inside goes Vermouth. He's trying to hang on to P3 here, and he's successful. Barmer trying to make moves. He's up, battling Bursey for 5th place. Vermouth trying to hang on to P3 still. Profodes is putting up a fight down the inside. Looks Barmer on Profodes, and he's through into 4th place. Does Profodes fight back? No, is the answer. So Barmer's into 4th place. What a start from our championship leader. Yellow flags are out. Dalton's out of the race. Dalton's out of the race. The championship is over. Barmer 22, with that crash, has become the AM1 Drivers' Champion for Season 9. And I believe with that crash as well, McLaren will be Constructors' Champions. They've got a 27-point lead, McLaren over Williams. And with only one car in the race, they can't score more than 26 points. So even if Death Storm has the perfect race, it won't be enough. Barmer 22 is our Drivers' Champion. McLaren are our Constructors' Champion. There we go. And I can see in the chat, Dalton's not happy. Black's on a set of new medium compound tyres. He had to come in. And from judging from the chat, Black's has had a collision with Rick Dalton that ultimately ended Dalton's race. We're now back on the green flag racing here at Kota. Barmer, Vermouth battling for P3. Around the triple right-hander we go. Down towards turn 19. The gap's half a second between the top two, just over half a second. Barmer just behind in 3rd, Vermouth 4th, Profode's 5th. Bursey's next, followed by Kitzenpetter, then Nicholas Latifi. Then it's a bit of a gap to Death Storm in P9. Up the hill towards turn 1. 4/10 separating the top two. A bit of a lock up there from Hasmania. Down the hill towards turn 2. Andy Wu tries to pull away. Barmer right behind. He'll be unable to do anything through this middle sector. All you can do really is follow the car in front. Try and not make any mistakes. Around turn 7, around turn 8, up the hill towards turn 9. Barmer's right on the back of Hasmania. Down the hill around turn 10 towards turn 11. Barmer's close. Will he send it in? He looks, but doesn't commit to a move. He just stays behind Hasmania for now. Down the back straightaway we go. DRS is enabled, so Hasmania will be closing in. Barmer will be closing in on our race leader as well. Up towards turn 12. Hasmania looking around the long way. Can't get it done there. Barmer trying to force his way through, side by side into turn 13. Hasmania with the inside line. Barmer fighting around the long way. He'll have the inside line for turn 15. The McLaren driver sends it in. They're side by side on the exit, up towards the triple right-hander. Hasmania has the inside line. He's in front. He keeps P2. Up towards the penultimate turn. Turn 19 as Dalton has left the session, fair enough. Up towards the final corner. Bit of a moment there from Hasmania as they go around said final corner, back onto the main straightaway. They now begin lap 4 of 28 here at Kota. Barmer trying to line up Hasmania here. He's looking down the inside, heading towards turn 1. He's got the nose in front. Hasmania tries to fight around the long way as Bruno sets a new fastest lap. Down the hill towards turn 2. Side by side they go through the sweeper. And Hasmania keeps his AlphaTauri in front. Around turn 6. Oh, a bit of a moment there from Hasmania. A bit of understeer at turn 5. He had the cut a fair bit at turn 6. Barmer almost went into the back of Hasmania there at turn 7. But he kept his McLaren out of the back of the AlphaTauri. Running wide as Vermouth just behind in the Mercedes-Benz as they head towards turn 11. No one really close enough to battle just yet. But all of these guys will have DRS. They'll be closing in on our race leader. There's Profodes just behind him, Bursey. Kits and Peters within a second. Barmer's closing in. Hasmania half defends that inside line. Sending it in though is Barmer. They can't quite get it done. Hasmania should get better traction. Does get better traction at the exit of 12. He parks the bus at turn 13. Barmer cannot find a way through. Will he create a move though? The answer is no. He'll just stay behind Hasmania. Around turn 16. Around turn 17. Then 18. Up towards turn 19. Andy Wu is pulling away. The gap almost 1 second. Into the final corner. Turn 20. Nicholas Latifi, a 3-second time penalty. I think Deathstorm got a penalty as well. Up towards turn 1. Hasmania closing in thanks to DRS. Barmer still right behind. Everyone else in here, in this train, sort of unable to do anything right now. They're just sort of stuck in these DRS trains. The only battle really going on is towards the front, as I believe Andy Wu made a mistake. I'm not certain. It was hard to judge from the camera angle. It was either Andy or Hasmania who made a mistake at turn 6. Here comes Barmer down the inside of turn 10. He'll try and create a move here into the hairpin of turn 11. He'll send it in. Gets the car in front. Runs Hasmania right onto the curb. As they head down the back straightaway towards turn 12. Both cars will have DRS. Vermouth is closing in as well. Here we go, down towards turn 12. Hasmania looking, doesn't commit to a move though. Barmer closing in right to the back of Andy Wu's Ferrari. Up towards turn 13, Hasmania gets a run. Looking around the long way, contact I think, between the two cars. Oh, Hasmania loses control, and here comes Vermouth. Looking around the outside of turn 15. Can't quite get it done, Vermouth. He gets the over-under, but Hasmania remains in front. So the AlphaTauri keeps P3 for now. Around turn 19, up towards turn 20. Barmer is right behind Andy Wu. He started towards the back, a little bit of a moment there at the final corner. Closes in, not using any battery though. He's not going to commit to a move here. Takes a nice wide line, gets the over-under, gets lovely drive out of turn 1. He's side by side with the race leader. Andy Wu gets in front though. Into the S's. Turn 3. 4. Andy Wu's compromised. He's going a bit slowly through here. And this brings Hasmania and Vermouth that little bit closer. Around turn 7. Into turn 8. 5th gear. Keeping it in 5th through turn 8. Around turn 9. Still in 5th gear. And gets lovely drive out of turn 9. He's right on the back of the Ferrari. Into the hairpin. He looks but doesn't commit to a move. He's going to try and line up an overtake with DRS. Heading into turn 12. Andy moves to the inside of the racetrack, desperately trying to break the toe, but Barmer doesn't need to. He's got DRS, and he slingshots by into the race lead. There's nothing Andy can do other than send it in at turn 12. He gets his Ferrari in front. He'll have the inside line for turn 13, sends it in again. Barmer gets underneath him at turn 14, but he's on the outside for turn 50. And he keeps his Ferrari just in front. Barmer has the inside line for turn 16, 17 and 18. But Andy's still trying to fight. And he just can't quite do it. He has to accept defeat for now and move back into P2. But he will have DRS down this main straightaway. A bit of a lock-up from the Ferrari driver. He's using battery as well. He closes in rapidly. He'll move to the inside and take the race lead back at turn 1. There's not much Barmer can do about that. Gets the over-under on the Ferrari driver, but he's on the outside for turn 2. He can't fight around the outside of turn 2. Into the S as we go. There's Hasmanian Vermouth, there's Profodes and Bursey, there's Latifi, there's Kizzenpetter. Around turn 6, into turn 7. Up the hill towards turn 8. Barmer is all over the back of the Ferrari. You can't really make a move through here. You have to wait, you have to be patient. Down towards the hairpin. Turn 11, looking to the inside but doesn't commit to the move. Alright, see this all over again. Barmer using battery, Andy Wu using battery. Here we go, you can see the flashing red light. Andy's low on battery. He's in harvest mode. Down the inside goes Barmer. Into turn 12. Oh, contact between the two there. And that brings Hasmania into the fight. Around turn 13 we go. Barmer looking around the long way. Oh, and there goes Vermouth down the inside of Hasmania there. Around turn 15, side by side is Barmer. And Andy running wide is Andy there. But he has the inside line for turn 16. Keeps that Ferrari in front. Barmer's down to second place. Now Hasmania's in the fight. Profodes and Bursey are side by side at the exit of turn 18. Running wide at 19 is Barmer. Down the inside goes Hasmania. Into the final corner. Vermouth is into the pit lane. Down the main straightaway we go. It's now lap 8 of 28. Here comes Barmer, lining up Hasmania. Where will he look? To the inside he goes at turn 1. Does he send it in? The answer is yes. They're wheel to wheel at turn 1, down the hill towards turn 2. Oh, and Profodes. Yellow flags. He has spun at turn 1. He's dropped down to P8. Bruno up to 7th. Then there's Latifi, Kizzenpetter, Bursey 1.2 seconds behind Barmer, who is still battling Hasmania. Andy Wu at the front of the field, 4/10 in front. He's going to have his hands full down the back straight away. Around turn 10 towards turn 11. 2/10 separate these two. Does Barmer go for it? No, is the answer. He's going to wait. He's going to use DRS here to try and create a move. Again, weaving down the straightaway. Andy desperately trying to break the toe. But here comes Hasmania. Here comes Barmer. Down towards turn 12. Looking to the inside is Hasmania. He sends it in. Gets in front. But overshoots a corner. Andy Wu gets back in front. Hasmania has the inside line, so he should be able to hang on to P2, but Barmer gets underneath him at turn 14. Andy Wu parking the bus around the hairpin of turn 15, side by side. Hasmania gets in front. Bursey and Kizzenpetter are closing in as well as they head around the triple right-hander towards turn 19. 2/10 separating the top two. Make that a 10.5. Make that just over 1/10 as they go around 19 towards turn 20. Into the pits goes Bursey. He's making his first pit stop of the race. Down the main straightaway we go. Yellow flags are out. That's Death Storm who has spun at turn 12. Up towards turn 1. Hasmania covering Barmer here into the opening hairpin. Barmer tries to get the over-under, but can't quite get it done. Down the hill around turn 2 towards the S section we go. Andy Wu has clear air out in front. He should be able to pull away just a little bit. Around turn 5 into turn 6. We've got a 4-car fight right here at the front of the field. And interestingly enough, the guy at the back of it, Kizzenpetter, he's on the medium compound tyre. Around turn 8, around turn 9, up and over the crest and around turn 10. Down the hill towards the hairpin of turn 11. 4/10 separate the top two. So Hasmania, he has the opportunity to try and create an overtake here with the use of DRS. Gets a nice run out of the hairpin. Again, Andy moving around the straightaway, trying to break the toe. And here comes the AlphaTauri, closing in at a rapid rate of knots. Down towards turn 12, the sharp left-hander. He's looking around the outside as Andy covers the inside line. Andy keeping the lead, really nicely done there. Great defending for the race lead. around turn 13, around turn 14. Barmer's right on the back of the AlphaTauri, looking to the inside at turn 15. Hasmania keeps his car around the outside and has the inside line for 16, 17 and 18. Andy tries to pull away, but doesn't pull away by much. He maybe found a 10th thanks to that battle between Hasmania and Barmer. Do they still stay out? Yes, they do. None of them are taking the opportunity to pit yet. Down the main straightaway we go. It's now lap 10 of 28 here at Kota. And Hasmania, he is closing in on Andy Wu up towards turn 1. He looks to the inside, breaks deep, gets in front. Oh, I think a bit of contact there between the two cars. And here comes Barmer to take advantage of it. Briefly 3 wide, and Hasmania falls to third. Barmer has taken the lead around the outside of turn 2. What a manoeuvre from the recently crowned Drivers' Champion. And Hasmania had to cut the track there. He might have damage. His front wing looks okay, but he did back off at turn 2. I think he might have damage. I'm not certain though. But what a manoeuvre from Barmer. Round the outside of turn 2. But now he's going to be vulnerable to the cars behind. He won't have DRS down there straight away. How much will Andy close in? He's 6/10 behind. I don't think he'll be close enough to create a move at turn 12, but he will definitely close in up towards turn 12 now. Half a second, now 4/10 of a second, 3.5 tenths, 3 tenths, 2.5 tenths. He closes right behind Barmer's gearbox up towards turn 13. Kitten Petter's just behind. Hasmania, it seems like his car's actually okay. Sparks flying off the McLaren there as it's bottoming out. Andy Wu, an audacious maneuver down the inside. Contact, spinning. Oh my goodness, Andy has taken the lead back. Kitten Petter now takes the lead from him. Hasmania's into second, Barmer's into third, as I believe Andy Wu realised he made a huge mistake there and he had to relinquish the positions he gained. He's now at the back of the train. Hasmania's into the pits. So is Andy Wu. So we have a new race leader. Kitten Petter. Where did he come from? He's now at the front of the field with Barmer just behind. My goodness. It seems as Hasmania's pitted onto the medium tyres, so has Andy Wu. I'm not sure if they'll try and go to the end on those tyres. I suppose we will find out. Nicholas Latifi sets a new fastest lap, a 34.4, as Andy Wu will drop all the way down to 9th place. Hasmania battling his teammate, it seems, at the exit of turn 1. Bruno gets in front, and there's Nicholas Latifi coming out to 2 towards turn 3. Look at him, he's all over the back of the AlphaTauri, and those tyres won't feel particularly great either on the AlphaTauri. They're still fresh, they're a bit cold. Down the inside looks Latifi. Yeah, it was probably wise not to commit to that move. Very fast corner, very easy to make a mistake, as Hasmania cuts a bit too much. He gets a warning and a 3-second time penalty. Up towards the hairpin of turn 11. Latifi not close enough. This is going to be interesting here down this straightaway. Hasmania will have DRS. Bruno will not. Latifi will have DRS as well. Here comes Hasmania. Pretty simple move to the inside. Latifi not close enough. So Hasmania into P6. Bruno down to 7th. Nicholas still in 8th, but he's trying to create something here down the inside at turn 13. He has the inside line for 14, and he gets in front for turn 15. Bruno tries to fight, though. Down the inside big time at turn 15. Up towards a triple right-hander. Bruno is in front, but Nicholas has the inside line. Around 17, 18, towards 19. Bruno has the inside line. Wheel-to-wheel contact there. Around turn 19. Oh, these two battling hard, but very respectful fighting. Neither cars pushed each other off, and running wide is Bruno. But Nicholas made a mistake. At the apex of turn 20, he lost control of the car just ever so briefly, and that's kept this fight alive between these two cars. Around turn 1, around turn 2, Nicholas, he'll hang on to P7 for now, but while they're battling, Hasmania has driven away. The gap's now 1.5 seconds between himself and Latifi. Yellow flags are out, that's Deathstorm. This time at, oh no, it's the same spot, turn 13. Around turn 9, down the hill and around turn 10. Bruno can line up an overtake here. But they've still got yellow flags in that sector. Out of turn 11. Bruno can line up Nicholas pretty easily here. Pulls out of the slipstream now. and slingshots by the Red Bull with relative ease. And there's Andy Wu just behind. Now, he's a fair way behind Hasmania, so I would guess that Andy actually got wing damage as well with that collision with Barmer at turn 15. That'll be my guess. Deathstorm, 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. He was trying to get out of the way of our race leaders, I believe. Barmer into the pits. He'll be moving on to a set of medium compound tyres. And a front wing change. Interesting. So he's going to lose time to those he was battling with. And Deathstorm retires in the pit lane. So Barmer drops behind Andy Wu and Hasmania. He's got all that work to do again. Bruno gets in front of Nicholas. So this battle is still not over. And there's Andy Wu just behind, closing in. Around turn 6. Up towards turn 7. Now the right-hander of turn 8 as Deathstorm has left the session. We're down to 10 cars. Both Williams are out. Around turn 10, then down the hill towards turn 11. Half a second separating these two. See there Bruno taking a nice wide line into the hairpin of turn 11. Trying to carry as much speed as possible around the tight left-hander. Down the straightaway as we get a useless camera angle. We're right on board instead. Here comes Nicholas. To the inside he goes. A very simple maneuver. Does Bruno fight back? He's going to try. Around the outside. Can't quite get it done. So Nicholas gets his Red Bull in front. This battle is definitely not over. A bit of a lock up there from Nicholas as well at turn 13. Around turn 14. Towards a hairpin of turn 15. You can see the massive carpet of rubber that's being built up at turn 15 as cars lock up in towards the apex of the sharp left-hander. Around turn 17, 18, up towards turn 19. Nicholas has pulled away just a little bit. But Bruno, critically, is still within a second. He also ran a bit wide there at turn 19. Oh, and a bit of a moment there as well at the final corner. But he has DRS and will be closing in. Andy Wu has lost time. He's lost about 6 tenths, maybe 7 tenths to those in front. So hopefully he hasn't struck any trouble. Still see him there at the back of shot. Through the S's now. Nicholas Latifi, a 3-second time penalty through this S section. Like I said in the intro, that S section is a track limit warning haven. It is really easy to get track limit warnings through there. Really, really easy. Because you're right on the limit through that S section. You make even the smallest mistake, you can be really severely punished for them. Out to the hairpin. Down towards turn 12. Bruno will have DRS and will close in. But it seems that Nicholas does have the outright speed advantage compared to Bruno. Hasmania, in third place, got a healthy gap to the car in front. Meanwhile, we've got a battle for third. Preferreds, Bursey. One on 13 lap old mediums, the other on 4 lap old softs. And that guy on the 4 laps old softs is trying to fight around the outside at this triple right-hander. You can't really do it there. A 3-second time penalty for what? Did he understeer wide there? At the final part of that complex. Didn't look like he understeered wide, but he's got a 3-second time penalty. Here comes Bursey with DRS open. And he's not quite... Oh, he's going to try sending it down the inside. It didn't look like he had the momentum to do this, but he's got the grip. He's got superior grip on those fresh tyres compared to Preferreds on those old mediums. There really wasn't much Preferreds could do about that. Now we've got a battle brewing at the front of the field. Kittenpetter still leading. Having a really nice drive at the moment at Kota. But he's got Vermouth right behind within a second. And he will have DRS down this straightaway. 6.5 tenths behind. That gap is going to shrink quite considerably as they head towards turn 12. 6 tenths. 5.5 tenths. 5 tenths as they head into the braking zone at turn 12. Bursey pulling away from Preferred. Preferred still has a little bit of DRS, which helps him out. Hasmania has Nicholas closing in at a rate of knots. And Andy Wu, he's got Barmer right behind. Andy covers the inside line. Barmer looking around the long way. Andy Wu sends it in at turn 12, runs wide. Barmer has the advantage now, but Andy sends it in at turn 13. But Barmer just drives around him on the outside line, covers the inside line as well. So he'll hang on to P8. Can Andy Wu keep up with Barmer as Vermouth takes the lead? A simple maneuver with DRS down the main straightaway. There wasn't much Kitten Pettit could do in that moment. But all he has to do now is just keep up with Vermouth. He's in a position now where he can move on to the soft tyre and try and get to the end of the race. That's his goal right here, right now. Vermouth, he's got one more stop to do as well, but he has to go on to the medium compound tyre. So this is going to be an interesting battle towards the front. Pettit, what he needs to do now is just keep up with Vermouth. Try and utilise DRS. We have this going on. Hasmania, Nicholas Latifi, Bruno Diaz, P5, 6 and 7. They're all within a second of one another. So they head towards turn 12. Now, Nicholas will close in quite considerably here. Will he be in a position to attack? He's looking, but can't really commit to a move. He wasn't quite close enough to send it in. Up towards turn 13. Still close, but not quite close enough. Into the hairpin of turn 15. Similar story. He's about half a second behind, just working away. And that's a mistake from Hasmania. Nicholas closes in to within 3/10 of the car in front. Kitten Pettit as well is still within a second of Vermouth, so he's doing his job pretty well. Kitten Pettit. Vermouth, he needs to try and break away from Pettit. Into the pits goes Preferred. He'll be moving on to the soft tyre down. Nicholas closing in with DRS. Not bothering to use any battery though. Hasmania moves about a little bit, trying to break the toe. Into turn 1. Down to third gear, down to second gear. Short shifting to third on the exit. Got nice drive. Hasmania got slightly better drive though, I think. Out of turn 2. Around turn 3. 4. Into 5. Then turn 6. Nicholas having to cope with all the dirty air coming off the car in front, but he's negotiating with it well. Bruno, he's just a second behind, just lurking in the background. Around turn 10, down towards turn 11. Hard on the brakes here. Nicholas, he needs to get a nice run here. Does not do that. He does not get a nice exit, and he loses time. Bruno here does not have DRS, so he won't be able to close in on the two in front. But here comes Nicholas Latifi, looking around the long way here at turn 12 as Hasmania covers the inside line. Nicholas tries to get the over-under done, but he's not close enough. He doesn't quite have enough momentum to try and make a move on Hasmania. Meanwhile, at the front, Vermouth has pulled away. He's got 1.4 seconds to Kitten Pettit behind. He needs to continue marching forward. Around the triple right-hander, Vermouth goes into the pits. Kitten Pettit stays out. Interesting. He's going to go really long on those tyres. Bersey's in as well from P3. So Hasmania will take those positions. He'll move into P2. Nicholas into P3. Bruno into 4th. Vermouth, he'll come out in P6 from the looks of things. Behind Barmer, but in front of Andy Wu. There's Andy there. In P7. Nicholas on the back of Hasmania. 2/10 separating the two cars. Around turn 7. Around turn 8. Gap has increased quite considerably. It's now 6/10 between the two cars. Up towards turn 11. Nice and steady from Nicholas. Gets nice drive at the exit of turn 11. Moving around the straightaway, trying to follow Hasmania, and look at the speed difference. The overspeed that the Red Bull has. Down the inside he goes. Hasmania tries to fight around the long way. Just can't get it done. Parks above Nicholas and contact. Contact between Nicholas and Hasmania. That could be damage for the AlphaTauri driver. It is damage. He's let his teammate go. Oh no. Nicholas parking the bus at the exit of turn 12. Hasmania runs straight into the back of him. It seems he might have damage. Will he pull into the pit lane? Kitten Pet is into the pits. He'll be moving onto the soft tyre. No, so Hasmania, if he does have damage, he's soldiering on. If he doesn't, well, he just gave up his third place to Bruno. Out of the pits comes Kitten Petter. There goes Vermoo. Here comes Andy Wu, his teammate. And there's Bursey and Profodes. And there goes Kitten Petter. He is in front of his teammate. He's in P6. He's got a 3.5 second margin to close in to Vermoo in 5th place. Hasmania is still keeping up with the cars in front, so perhaps it was just a kind gesture from Hasmania. Just sort of a reaction from what happened in front of him. Because it doesn't appear like he has damage. He's got pace still. If he does have damage, he's coping with it pretty well. Into turn 12. Bruno closing in on our race leader. Bruno, I believe, can make it to the end of the race on these tyres. Don't think he needs to make another pit stop. Around turn 15, the hairpin. Up towards the triple right-hander. The gap is half a second between these two. Bursey is closing in on Andy Wu as well, so we've got another battle to keep an eye on in a few moments' time. Into the pits goes Nicholas Latifi, so he's in for his final stop. We'll move on to the medium compound tyre and go to the end. Bruno takes the lead. Hasmania in second. Barmer in third place. He can see the two in front. He knows the targets he has to hit. Be an interesting battle in these final few laps. Vermoo in 4th place. A bit too far behind to challenge the top 3. He's got Kitten Petter to worry about, who is closing in. He's now 2.6 seconds behind. Andy Wu, he's got 2 cars behind him. Profodes making a move on Bursey at turn 3. My goodness, these guys have got zero chill at the moment. Around turn 7, around turn 8. Profodes all over the back of Andy Wu. He's on those soft compound tyres. They are just so much quicker. Down the inside he'll look here. Big old send. Big old dive bomb. Contact between the 2 cars. And I believe Profodes will also get DRS down the straightaway. He shall. And even with the slipstream that Andy Wu has got, that DRS is just way too powerful. And he'll keep P8. Profodes, big old lock-off from Andy Wu. Runs wide. Bursey closes in a little bit. Right on the back of the Ferrari. Bursey locks up a little bit there at turn 13. Look at that carpet of rubber there at turn 15. Massive layer of carpet there. Around the triple right-hander. Profodes, Andy Wu and Bursey. Keep an eye on this for now because the battle at the front is about to begin. We'll just see what Bursey does here down the main straightaway. He's right on the back of the Ferrari. He'll open DRS and close in. Andy Wu does not have DRS. Will he go for a move here? Looks to the inside. Sends it in. Commits to the move. And he gets in front. Andy Wu does a nice over-under. He's on the outside here at turn 2. Bursey with better grip on those fresher tyres. He keeps the car in front. There's not much Andy could do about that. Oh, and he hits the sausage curb there at turn 6. It vaulted the car up into the air. Fortunately, nothing major came from that. Now to this. The battle at the front. Bruno Diaz, Hasmania, Barmer 22. The top 3 separated by a second and a half. And here comes Barmer to the inside. He gets by with absolute ease. He got him just before the braking zone. He's now into P2. He's got to close in by 1 second to our race leader. Around the hairpin, turn 15. 1.1 seconds separating the top 2. Oh, a bit of a moment there from Barmer as Nicholas Latifi gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Kitapeta as well is close into within a second of Vermouth, so we've got a battle for fourth. Into the final corner, turn 20, onto the main straightaway. It's now lap 22 of 28. We have got 7 laps to go to sort this out at the front of the field. Hasmania hasn't given up. He is right on the back of Barmer, following him along, who is trying to catch up to Bruno Diaz. Vermouth in 4th place has got Kitapeta well and truly for company. The Ferrari drivers within 6/10 of the car in front, so the battle is definitely on. Nicholas Latifi down the inside of turn 1. Andy Wu, will he try and fight? Not quite. He'll move down to P9. On those old tyres, there's really not much he can do. Kitapeta within 5.5 of the car in front. Here we go down the straightaway. Half a second. He's going to use some battery here. And look at the overspeed. My goodness. There's nothing that Vermouth could do about that. Oh. Just drove by him as if Vermouth was walking out there. That's unbelievable. Alright. Top 3 are within a second of each other, and Kitapeta now in 4th place. Is he in this fight? He is 2.5 seconds behind. Can he close in? Running wide is Hasmania, so that'll help Peta out a little bit. Latifi overtaking Bursey. That was for P7. Down the main straightaway we go. It's now lap 23 of 28. 6 to go. 6 laps to go. And Kitapeta sets a new fastest lap. So he's pushing. He's got car speed. Can he close in anymore? He's now within 2 seconds of P3. Hasmania is still within a second of Barmer, as well as Blacks makes a mistake. That's at the exit, entry rather, at turn 16. He must have lost it at the exit of turn 15 and put it into the wall there. He's now 1.8 seconds behind Kitten. He is closing in. Hasmania is losing a little bit of ground to both Bruno and Barmer. Now Bruno's moving about, trying to break the slipstream. Here comes Barmer, though, with DRS. Not bothering to use any battery, though. This is just the raw power of DRS. And he closes in. Oh, I reckon if he did use battery, he would have been in a position to do exactly this, to try and make a move. Bruno, instead, ran wide at turn 12, created an opportunity. Fortunately, he recovered well. Around the hairpin of turn 15, 4/10 separating these two at the exit of the hairpin. Around the triple right-hander, Barmer having to deal with the dirty air. Hasmania losing a little bit of ground here and there, but Kitapeta in P4 is within a second of Hasmania. Can Kitapeta find a way by? Can he challenge the top 2? It's now lap 24. We got 5 laps to go. Barmer closes in on I can't speak now. Barmer closes in on our race leader. Not by enough, though, to overtake. Kitapeta closes in on Hasmania. Similar story with him. He's not in a position to overtake just yet, but he is closing in. Through the S's. Around turn 6. Now into turn 7. The gap's 4/10 between Bruno and Barmer. It's 4/10 between Hasmania and Kitapeta. Out of turn 9, towards turn 10. Up towards turn 11. Barmer's not close enough here, but he will be close enough to make a move on the straightaway towards turn 12. He'll definitely be close enough. Will he use battery this time around? No, he's not using any battery, compared to Bruno, who's definitely using battery. Down the straightaway towards 12, turn 12. Not close enough, Barmer, but he's just being patient, waiting for the right moment to strike. Hasmania is still hanging on to 3rd place. Kitapeta just not quite in a position to attack just yet. Out of turn 14 towards turn 15. Barmer still working away at the back of Bruno. Around the triple right-hander. 3/10 separating these two. Up towards the penultimate turn, turn 19. Barmer just trying to shadow Bruno as best he can. Around the final corner, turn 20. down the main straightaway now. Now it's lap 25. 4 laps to go. And Petter, he's still not quite close enough. Barmer, same story, not quite close enough. Black brings out a yellow flag at the exit of turn 9, entry of turn 10. Around turn 2, Bruno has got Barmer right behind him as they head into the S section. 1.5 tenths separate the top two. Around turn 6, heading towards turn 7. Bruno hanging on for dear life as Tasmania gets another 3-second time penalty. Around turn 9, over the crest, down the hill towards turn 10, then towards the hairpin of turn 11. Barmer not quite close enough still, but he is well and truly close enough to make a move down this straightaway. Will he use battery this time around? No, he's still not using battery. He'll just use the power of DRS to slingshot by with absolute ease. Will Bruno fight back here at turn 12? Will there be a send? Not quite. As Kitten Petter makes a move on Tasmania, he is through into third place. Now he's just got the 2 cars in front to try and catch up to. 1.3 seconds is the gap between Kitten Petter and Bruno. He's on fresher tyres. He's on the softer compound. And he's closed into almost within a second already. Around turn 19, towards the final corner, turn 20. Barmer trying to pull away. He's got 7 tenths in hand. It's not enough. Bruno will close in thanks to DRS, but Bruno lost some time at that final corner. The gap's increased to just over, and I mean just over 1 second. Petter closing in on Bruno. He is right behind the AlphaTauri. Around turn 2, towards turn 3, the beginning of the S section. Through 4, into 5, around the double apex right-hander of turn 6. The gap is half a second between P2 and 3. Barmer's trying to drive away. He's got 1.4 seconds in hand. Around turn 9, over the crest and down the hill towards turn 11, the hairpin. Petter's not close enough here. He needs a nice exit out of this hairpin, ideally speaking. Get a pretty tidy exit there, Petter. Bruno, you'll have his wing mirrors full of red in a few moments' time, because here comes Kitten Petter, closing in with a whole heap of speed. Petter, oh, he couldn't commit to a dive bomb down the inside as Bruno covered. But he makes a mistake, Bruno, and allows Kitten Petter to just draw alongside. Around turn 13, over, under, and he gets it done, Petter. He's into second place. Bruno is down to third. Now he's got one more car left in front of him, who is 2 seconds in front. Kitten Petter, can he do it? He needs to close in by 1 second per lap. Can he do it on those tyres? Barmer, he's got to get around the track 2 more times, just trying to keep a nice consistent pace, try and keep Kitten Petter behind. 2 laps to go here at Kota. Up the hill towards turn 1, the gap's 2.1 seconds. Petter doesn't quite have the straight line speed advantage, but this is where he'll make time through the corners. Around turn 2, up towards the S section, 3, 4. Now into 5 and 6. Up towards turn 7 as Bruno gets a 3-second time penalty. He's still lingering behind. So is Tasmania in the other AlphaTauri. Petter's lost time. The gap's 2.2 seconds. Make that 2.3. Barmer's pulling away out in front. Blacks gets a 3-second time penalty. Down the back straightaway towards turn 12. The gap's now 2.4. Petter still has those AlphaTauris for company. He can't keep his eyes forward because those AlphaTauris are getting bigger and bigger in his wing mirrors. Around turn 12 we go. Up towards turn 13. Bruno working away, not quite close enough to battle Kitten Petter here through this section. But he's close enough to apply pressure as Bruno makes a mistake. He's now 8 tenths behind. As those soft tyres finally died out, is second the best that we can hope for Petter. All that Barmer needs to do is keep his McLaren within the white lines from here to the checkered flag, and he will take the victory here. Here we go, the final lap. The final lap for Season 9 AM1. The final lap of what has been a thrilling Grand Prix here at Kota. Just a few more miles. Obama can take a well-deserved win. Kitten Petter, all he has to do is keep his car within the white lines, not make any mistakes, and he'll take a well-deserved second place. Been an incredibly interesting race. And it's fulfilled my philosophy about racing, that field size does not dictate racing quality. We started off with 12 cars, we're going to finish with 10, but we've had one of the most interesting races we've ever had during this season. It's been an absolutely superb way to conclude the season of racing. And Bruno's still not given up. Yellow flags are out. Not quite sure why. Is someone out of fuel? I think Vermoux's out of fuel. He is! He has run out of fuel. Profodes is going to close in. Vermoux might drop outside of the top 5. Up towards the final 2 corners for the final time. Barmer has successfully defended his championship. He's going to go back to back. He wins the United States Grand Prix and he becomes Season 9 AM1 Drivers Champion. Kitten Petter, P2, what an effort. What a drive. Bruno P3, Tasmania in 4th. Profodes gets P5. Vermoux has to accept P6. Bursey in 7th, followed by Nicholas Latifi, then Andy Wu, P9. There'll be a fairly lengthy wait for blacks in P10. There we go. A nice little donut there from our league coordinator. I know, while we have this opportunity, we better thank those who are actually running this sort of stuff. Especially Andy and Bursey, who have been sort of the backbone of the organisational side of this series. So thank you very much to you two. It's been a pleasure watching these races. It's been a hell of a lot of fun. What a way to conclude a season. You finally got an AM1 podium, Kitten Petter. Well done. Awesome stuff. So there we are. I'd say a very fun race we got to watch. Even with a field of 12 cars, we've had a fantastic session of racing. Absolutely fantastic. There we are. Podium celebrations as Barmer takes his final win this season, wraps up the Drivers' Championship, and McLaren secure the Constructors. Kitten Petter, P2, what an effort. And Bruno in the AlphaTauri. I think that's the first podium for an AlphaTauri this season. So better late than never, I suppose, for that outfit. And with P4 as well for AlphaTauri, that's a big pile of points. But I am afraid that AlphaTauri will more than likely finish at the bottom of the Constructors' table. But there we are. Barmer, from not setting a lap time in qualifying, he ends up taking the victory. Not by much though, 2.4 seconds at the end of that race with no safety cars whatsoever. 2.4 seconds is actually pretty close. Kitten Petter, what an effort, finishing P2. Bruno, fantastic effort as well to finish in P3. Tasmania in 4th place, then Profodes in 5th. Vermoux from pole position, he finishes P6, probably not the race he was looking for. Bursey P7, then Nicholas Latifi P8, Andy Wu in 9th, and Blacks rounds out the top 10 with fastest lap. Neither Williams, Destorm or Rick Dalton ended up finishing this race. A bit of controversy at the opening lap with Dalton crashing out of the race. Didn't quite catch it, unfortunately. But, yeah, apparently it was an incident between himself and Blacks, from what I can hear. Oh, that was fun. Oh, dearie me. This snuffly nose is giving me a workout with this stream. Oh, a lot of talking. A lot of talking. That was fun. Kota, I don't like you as a driver, but as a commentator, you often bring out some pretty interesting races, and I'm very, very grateful that we got the ending that we should have got. It was very fun, very entertaining. Yeah, just a nice way to wrap everything up. Yeah, Vermoo ran out of fuel, Rogue on the last lap. So I noticed flicking through some of the drivers with the telemetry on, quite a few drivers were low on fuel. So we didn't have a single safety car, so there was no opportunity to try and save fuel throughout that race. So if you were running a bit even towards the start, yeah, you would have been in a bit of trouble at the end, and that's what happened to Vermoo, unfortunately for him. No. That was good. That was really good. Absolutely fantastic stuff. But I think with the race finally over, it's time for us to end the stream and end this season's worth of racing on Contest of Speed. Thank you to everyone who has watched our coverage of the AM1 season. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope everyone watching has enjoyed it as much as I have. It certainly has been a pleasure. I'm looking forward to the next season of racing on the new game. But I think it's about time that we wrap it up. For the final time, I've been Lane Everingham. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time, whenever that may be, in a new game and a new era of Formula One. Definitely something to look forward to. But until next time, it's goodbye.